My name is Laura Ryback, and I'm a licensed insolvency trustee with MNP Limited, working out of the Winnipeg office. I've been a licensed insolvency trustee for over 15 years, primarily assisting consumer debtors with their financial difficulties. I'm joined today by two of my colleagues, John Nathanansu and Randy Cobert, each with MNP Limited offices across the country. Today's discussion is going to be the impact of financial difficulties on a consumer's mental well-being, in line with the Bell Let's Talk initiative. One of the most common symptoms that debtors mention to us can be linked to their mental health. John, can you tell us a little bit about what you're experiencing when you're talking to debtors in your office?
Sure. Thanks, Laura. Thanks for a great introduction. That was awesome. What am I seeing now when people walk through my door? A lot of anxiety and stress. A lot of people, there's a direct connection between a person's debt level and a person's mental health. And we're definitely seeing the impact when people come and sit down across a desk from me to discuss their financial situation. So specifically, I guess right now the average Canadian household owes about $1.70 for every dollar made, right? Their debt. So this debt level is definitely causing some stress on individuals that we see on a daily basis.
Now, Randy, what are you finding in your office? Something very similar?
Yeah, thanks, Laura. For the record, I practice in the Lethbridge office in Southern Alberta, and I've been working in this field for about 16 years now. So I've seen certainly a lot of variety of different concerns expressed by debtors over the years since, and in this past year, particularly with the pandemic, that's added certainly another dimension to it all. I guess I'd say prior to the pandemic, creditor calls, harassment from, in terms of court action, wage garnishes has been probably the most common thing that I hear from debtors, first of all, and that definitely triggers anxiety right from there. And then you add on to that the pandemic issues surrounding that, and concerns about physical well-being, and the triggers on mental well-being as a result, job loss, uncertainty about when they can get back to work and so on if they were displaced from work. It's just only compounding the problem. So we're seeing in our office, for example, feelings of hopelessness, being alone, not sleeping. There's been obviously much more isolation that people are feeling during the pandemic with different restrictions across the country. Many cases, as we had seen in the past, feelings of shame and embarrassment too, that lead to mental health issues. They feel like, in many cases, like they've tried everything once and they don't know where else to turn. So, and then of course, financial problems, financial stress can lead to physical health problems as a result. So that's kind of some of the things that we've been seeing, Laura. So
I would have to agree with both of you. In the Winnipeg office, we're finding the same thing. I've dealt with a number of debtors that they start the conversation with, I just don't know what to do. I'm not sleeping. I'm having trouble eating. It's affecting my relationship. I'm taking it out on my children. I'm having trouble focusing at work. I'm just at the end of my rope. And you have a conversation with them and dig a little deeper. And I think that sometimes, the mental health has caused the financial issue. There are certain mental health conditions that one of the symptoms is reckless spending with remorse after, but the remorse generally comes as a result of the bills that, oh my goodness, how am I going to deal with this now? And it becomes a vicious cycle for them. So I find that letting them know that there is help, that there are ways of dealing with their financial difficulty, it's almost like you can see their shoulders relax a little bit and a little bit of the strain fall off their facial expression. So definitely, I would agree. And COVID has just taken, for some people, what has been a difficult situation, and I think made it even more difficult for sure.